Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cabela's, Cuddyback, America's Best Bowstrings, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, Hoyman Tree Saws, Lone Wolf Tree Stands, Nikon, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, RTP Outdoors, Spot Hog Releases, Wasp Archery, Viking Solutions, and Realtree.
Welcome Midwest Whitetail, Great Lakes. Today we're at another one of the properties I spent a lot of time at, hunting with my nephew mostly, and I'll get out once in a while. But our project today is to set up a couple of these redneck blinds. A lot of corn around here, so we got a spot down between the cornfields here where we've had good luck in the past. We're going to get our redneck blind up in that corner, and then we got a bale blind too we're going to set up in the hayfield. Like I say, this is all surrounded by corn this year. I think it's going to be great in here. So decent properties to hunt. I love hunting the standing corn. You don't see a ton of deer, but it seems like you can get on the one you're after. So we're going to get this one up a minute and move on to the next one. Well, this is the spot we're going to put this bale blind. This hayfield's pretty much surrounded by standing corn. So for right now, we're kind of centrally located between the creek and the end of the field. We're going to start out with it right here. At least we'll have the bale blind in the field, and we can adjust where we want it as we get more hunts in and more sightings in of where the deer are moving the best. So then we can relocate a little bit. But we're going to start right here, face her that way. Gonna go around towards Logan and Luke, and then we'll have the double window out this way. Go towards them guys with your end. That's good. Well, that's about it here on the west side of the road. We got these two blinds set today. We may check a couple cameras yet later today, but this was the main thing was getting these blinds in the field, let the deer get used to them a little bit, and like I say, we got this side done. We got a little more property on the other side, but we'll get to that in this week and night, and kind of get that set up and ready for the season. So that's a wrap for today.
Well, I made it down here to the lower food plot, and it looks like the autumn quick plot is coming in really nice. It's nice and flat down here and nothing washed away like it looks like it happened up on the upper food plot. Along with the autumn quick plot, I planted some clover in here. We're hoping that this clover will come up really nice and that next summer it'll give the deer something to eat. Right now we haven't had a lot of food, summer type foods over here. And so the deer kind of go elsewhere during the summer, but we're looking forward to when them deer start coming back here pretty quick into their fall range. And one of the things that I did to help us out with hunting this plot is in the little woods behind me here, I did some hinge cutting. And I hinge cutted quite a few trees in there, made it really thick, and I'm hoping that's going to create some good bedding. Them deer start bedding there to be really close to this plot, and hopefully we'll get them to come out before it gets dark on us. That is one problem that we've had here in the past. So we're looking forward to this season, and it won't be long where that quick plot's going to come up and them deer are going to start hitting it pretty good. It is Labor Day weekend, and Eric and I are up here in the northern part of the lower peninsula of Michigan. And my father-in-law has a trailer up here, And just recently, tornadoes came through this area. Fortunately, they were only about 150, 200 yards from the trailer where they ripped through these trees. One tree did come down on the trailer, but did some minor damage. We'll be able to get that repaired without any problem before hunting season starts. Now, this area has implemented a 6-point rule about 4 or 5 years ago. So a lot of the deer are becoming mature deer for this area. Earlier this summer, I was out here scouting a little bit and I came across this skull of a nice buck. So for this area, it's looking pretty promising. So hopefully we get these trail cameras out. We came across this river here, which borders my father-in-law's property, and we're going to get back in the federal and state land that's back here. We're going to get these trail cameras hung. We have a nice little saddle here where we think the deer might be coming through. We're going to get a trail camera hung and see once what we get on the camera. I'm going to come back in a couple weeks, check it out, and hopefully we'll be able to find a good spot to put a tree stand.
Alright, we're at one of the farms that we hunt here in West Michigan. Just taking a look, gonna hang some stands up, get an area we want to set a stand when we come back in here to actually hunt. But I'm not usually a big field edge guy. I like to be in the woods a little bit, but this sets up pretty good for an early season pattern. This set of beans is just a little bit later than the set right next to it. It was planted because of the wet ground a little bit later. And the deer have already seemed to be really keying in on this green forage right now, eating the beans here right along the edge pretty good. So we're gonna hop up in a tree, get it semi cleared out for when we come back in the first week of October. Usually this should set up for maybe a good kill spot in the first week or two of October. So that's the plan tonight, and then we'll take a look by the pond right over my shoulder and see what kind of activity's going on around there. We just got one trail camera hung just behind me. We're overlooking this run that comes out into the bean field here. It's a pretty well used run. That's where a lot of these tracks are coming from. There's a couple of the bigger sets that skirt this edge and then go into the next field over. So the trail camera is going to catch both of those transition areas, and we might set up one mock scrape just down the way here and see if we can get that fired up. They're always scraping down here throughout the season on this field edge, so we're going to try to get one going early, a mock scrape, so we can get a trail camera on that also. Well, here's the little water source we have on this this piece of property. It's a small fire pond. The deer tend to use it quite a bit, especially when it's hot out, when we haven't had rain in a while. It gets all tracked up. They come down there to get their water. But I've had a trail camera on it in the past, and we'll probably end up putting one on there to monitor what type of deer we got moving around this year. But it seems like they're mostly nocturnal on this water. It's pretty open. It's on an open tree line, or a fairly open tree line. How I like to hunt it is, intersect them before they get here, obviously, coming from their bedding, hitting food like we have up at front in the bean field, and then coming to the water eventually. But it's definitely good to have water on your farm, and it's always good to get pictures before season on water. So that's our plan with this.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail Great Lakes. My name is Luke Wolfer. I'm hunting Ottawa County, Michigan. The past few years I've been doing a little bit behind the scenes stuff with Darren and Logan and Jake, and I'll be primarily filming with Jake. Getting ready to check a few trail cameras this year and change a few things. They just changed the Michigan laws, and you guys need to be aware of that. Is the Ottawa County, where we live, is one of the counties where the new CWD laws are in effect. And there's no more feeding, baiting in those counties, and also they've lengthened gun season in those counties from November 15, and also muzzleloader. You can use either type of firearm. So I'd check with your DNR and get online and check to make sure you're aware of the new laws this year, as things have changed and nobody wants to get in trouble.
Me and my wife are getting ready to go to Wyoming. We're heading out in 3 weeks, heading real close to the same area that me, Jake, Darren, and Logan headed in 2016. Got the new bows, getting them sighted in, and hopefully we'll be ready to go to have a successful hunt. Thanks for watching.